Okay, hi guys, here we go. It's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. This is not just a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read, but it's a journey of discovery. Some amazing stuff always comes up in my reads that I channel, the downloads that I get. So please stay tuned and come with me on my journey. It is April 3rd today, 2019. The 3 is all about the Empress of Abundance and being Queen. It's abundance and growth and just being in your power as a feminine energy. And then the day adds up to 19, which is the Sun, which is all about the masculine energy. We have the masculine and the feminine so represented today. The Empress is Gaia, the Earth, which is the feminine, and the Sun is the masculine, so which is full of energy and happiness. And the recharge, the reboot. There's a, well, we'll get into that at another time, but so we have the Sun and the Empress, and definitely stuff that came through again, showing us more ways, more perspectives to see how the masculine and the feminine energies fit together. So today the read was done at 9:14. 9 is the Hermit and 14 is the Temperance, the Angels. It's all about patience, which is one of the hardest parts of this journey, is having faith and patience, right? So 9-0 is the Hermit of being the wise one, all right, still in reflection. It's about learning that it's okay to be still because you're still worthwhile no matter what you do or don't do, okay? There's always love. So as we get into the read for the Divine Masculine Twin Flames, the only major arcana today were Alchemy and Shadow. And in the Syrian Starseed deck, which is the main deck for my read, Alchemy is Temperance and Shadow is normally the Devil. So there were 2 wands, 4 swords, 2 cups, and 1 pentacle. So you know what it means when there's 4 swords. It means the masculine's thinking too much, but that means he has something to be thinking about. So let's see where that goes. I think you'll be surprised at how this unfolds. The court cards were the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Swords, which typically come up for the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. The numbers and the codes were all about rebirth and change. The numbers that came up were 67, 82, 67, 101, 101 Dalmatians, that was just coming up, but 101 is an extension of the 10, which is that high vibrational energy, the vibration. So 101 is just continuing that high vibration. 66, 88, 66 is the Queen of Pentacles, and she also came up in the read. 88 is the masculine and the feminine in their perfect integration of masculine and feminine within each of them, next to each other. All right, then 2 we have is the High Priestess. We have 45, which is the 5 of Cups, which is the grieving process, and then we have the sequence of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so towards the end of the cycle there. 56 is the 2 of Swords, so being in your knowing. 78 is the end of the deck, which is the 10 of Pentacles, which is, you know, like your ultimate dream family life, your legacy. And then 68 is the Page of Pentacles. So 67 and 68 both came up, as well as the Queen. All right, and the King of Pentacles is represented in the read as well. All right, so you see a trend here. We got the Page, Knight, Queen, King of Pentacles. The end of the deck is when on the Fool's Journey you start with Wands, then you go to Cups, and then Swords, and then Pentacles. That means you've integrated everything and learned. So now you're learning to manifest, and that's the 4th leg of the relay, which came up recently, so passing on the baton. The number 10 also came up, as well as the 101, and 2421 and 2412 also came up, and 24, of course, is the Queen of Wands, that very fiery energy, and then we have 12 and 21 as the other parts of those numbers, which continuously come up now because, of course, that's about endings and completions. And, of course, this journey basically started with the ending of time as we know it in 2012, 12/21. We also got as we start the read, number 60 came up, which is 6 of Swords, finding peace, and 27, which is the Ace of Wands, which is new passion, new inspiration. Also, the number 601 came up, so I looked it up to see what the angel number meant, and it's about prosperity, but in waiting too long, jobless for a while, lost respect of friends, no one wants to hang out anymore, middle class to now poor, monotony of being broke comes to an end, with patience and being positive. It's also about redemption and a fresh start, rebirth. This is being saved from a terrible situation. 61 comes out as abundance, and 601 shows you are blessed, and you have all that you need. Mother Nature is good to you, and your prayers are heard. Something will happen to turn your life around. It's darkest before the dawn. Receive it with humility. Do not be surprised when it comes. So there's that whole new you. You were doing things a certain way, a certain attitude about certain people, and not formal, like to be casual. But it's just showing the masculine changing the whole, his entire persona, who he was, and now who he's going to be. And now learning to give people the benefit of the doubt, as opposed to always being suspicious of their motivations. All right, being in love. Like I said, it was all about rebirth and change. The messages here were about love and the divine feminine, the collective consciousness of the divine feminine, love in general, that high vibration of the divine feminine within the masculine, in that 8, and balancing perfectly. So when you have 2 8s upright side by side, that's both the masculine and feminine integrated within the divine masculine and feminine. And if you put 1 8 on its side, for me that also represents both dancing together, okay, both integrated. So we have that masculine, the feminine within the masculine, in that 8 balanced moment, 2 souls strong and clear on their journey. All right, and this is the journey to the feminine in the masculine's rebirth. All right, the change. The Knight of Pentacles, right? He's very methodical and slow, but he always achieves his goals because he's very humble. It's like he's at the bridge, at the height of being 2 wise souls on a journey to the divine feminine, to his co-creation. All right, so this is all pointing towards union here. And you're going to love the message. The clarification card ends on the Lovers. The major card may not have, but the clarification card did. And the 3 cards that fell out in the shuffle were the Strength card, the Tower card, and the Lovers. So all major arcanas and, huge, big energies. And this is in this deck, the Strength card is the Tiger, the ferocious tiger with his eye on the prize. So some powerful energies coming up here. So as we get into the read, rising up above passion, and these were the underlying energies. It was positioned like this. Okay, so you have the rising up. So this is a little different than the normal deck, but it's rising up above passion and drama. Okay, and the 6 of Pentacles is behind that, or crystals in this deck, flames here instead of wands. Rising up above the passions to examine 2 flames, the feminine within the masculine, from a higher dimension of high vibrational love. This is the masculine. Knowing that the Queen of Cups brings peace and love that's different than before, too strong to continue to be stubborn and ignore. Looking at what he has manifested and feelings of being scammed or financially depleted, needing to stand ground without being defensive or feeling like a victim. Feeling indebted but needs to pay with love, not money. The Queen of Swords talks about an offer of a new life from the awakened one, above gossip and groups and what history has taught us. So Christ rising stood apart from ladies who lunch, talking about who got what and judging those who are different from them, controlling students rebellious in nature to hit the books or be expelled from school if they vent. People cast spells to try to control others when no one has control but the whole collective consciousness as one. Mother Mary comes to me, let it be. Okay, so that comes up. And then John Lennon came to me and said, it's all good. Okay, and that was in a past life regression I had done several years ago at the beginning of my journey. It was who was it? It was Jesus was there, and Abe Lincoln, John Lennon, and Hitler. They were standing as one to show you there's no difference in all of them. There's the good and the bad, the dark and the light. It's all a part of us, the shadow and the light. And when they were all standing there, John Lennon came forward to me to tell me it's all good. All right? So then I was guided to, I was guided to, what was this? Don't worry, be happy. And that may be the song that you know, but the actual expression came from the 60s, from a very spiritual person. I'm sorry if I mess up his name. Beher Babas. It's his expression. Beher, and then Baba, okay? It was his expression from the 60s, and then Bobby McFerrin made it into the song. Don't worry, be happy. All right, so that was definitely coming in, okay? Mother Mary saying, let it be. John Lennon saying, it's all good. And then here I am also adding to that, don't worry, be happy. Is there something else I missed on the page? Oh, that's interesting too, because I always write things that I might have taken today, like if I ate lemon, or also MSM, which is good for clearing your third eye. And the lemon that I wrote looks like Lennon. It doesn't look like lemon. So there's definitely John Lennon wants to come through right now. Jesus as a leprechaun. Don't worry, be happy. Green boots, brown legs, trouble in school, unable to follow those rules. Don't worry, be happy. Okay, so we all know people with kids now who are having issues at school because they're not being taught the way they need to be taught. Right? We need more meditation and more freedom in who they are now at school. So that's definitely an issue that's going to be ongoing for a while now. Over-isolated with need to come out, bugs in the curtains and noise from the floor above you, or above ya, holding their tongue, the masculine, and waiting for a messenger of truth or announcement. The King of Swords is in his truth no matter what's going on behind him now. Unable to put on the brakes, nothing there to resist. When horse is dead and you're strung up for the show, when you're dead and there's no more arousal, you come to terms with who you really are, your own survival. So a man, this takes me on another journey here. So it's a play with letters. So a man without erection, so a man who's not aroused. You notice that erection, when I wrote it, was written creation. And the difference between the word erection and the word creation is only the difference between EC and CA. And EC actually happens to be my initials, which is funny, my maiden name initials. And then CA is cancer. That's the abbreviation for cancer. And it's funny because when you look up CA, the last thing you see about CA is cancer, but everyone in the medical community absolutely associates CA with cancer. So a man without erection, or creation, which are two different things, is a man without creation, except the difference is that erection has EC and creation has CA, regarding T-I-O-N. T is positive, I-O-N, ion. So erection creates and creation depletes. Erection holds energy, creation lets go of energy. A positive ion is a cation. Okay? It means that it's missing an electron. So it's charged, just like you are, because you're missing that electron, right? So you become charged when you need to fill your something because something's missing. So the divine masculine must let go to receive the new. He must vacate to receive a vacation. Cation is missing something. He needs to lose in order to gain. It's like the relay too. You must let go of the third before you can run with the fourth. So then the difference between EC and CA came up for me, as well as when you go through erection and creation of the charge and the discharge, notice that, then you need a vacation. So I wanted to know what they all meant and how that was going to relate here. So it's funny because I looked up VA right away here, and VA of course comes up as the Veterans Administration in Virginia, but it also comes up as the Roman Catholic Church and volt ampage. And also, which was so strange to me, the Order of Victoria and Albert. And that just came up for me when I was guided to Albert, Uncle Albert. And that's Beatles too, isn't it? Uncle Albert. All right, so John Lennon's coming through again. So there's something about the relationship between Victoria and Albert, and then I was being guided, because, you know, for me it's medical language. AV, Albert and Victoria, is AV fistula, which that is defined as an unnatural or abnormal connection between an artery and a vein out of necessity. Okay, so it's either an abnormal connection that you're born with, or you create one for a dialysis graft or a natural fistula for dialysis purposes, or you have a trauma where, you know, the artery needs to get to the vein in a different way, so it creates an abnormal connection out of necessity. So it's saying that Victoria and Albert were an abnormal connection out of necessity, as well as the Roman Catholic Church, or volt ampage, or Virginia, or the Veterans Administration, right? How clear is that? An abnormal connection, because war is not normal, out of necessity. So then we get into I also wrote down VO, so going to vacation and also vocation. So vocation is brewing, if you say vo. It's like very old brandy or something like that, the VO, very old. Also, it's a verbal order, Royal Victorian order. So here Victoria comes up again because she's very bossy. All right, it's also voiceover, which is also bossy. Someone's voicing over somebody else. Okay, so it's also taking me to the Queen, where the feminine's been put in a patriarchal position. Okay, because that comes up as well in the read today. So, but it's about the patriarchal fall. But this is about women in patriarchal positions, because all patriarchal leaders are not men. Some are women with masculine energy, because they've been forced into that masculine energy, which kind of messes them up as a feminine. All right, so in definition, cation, you know, that charged ion attracts a cathode, or cathode, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, when it's charged, because it's missing something. So it attracts that connection, which is the cathode, or the cathode is a portal, right? So when you need to transfer that positive ion to something else, you know, you put a connection on there, whether it's a hospital and you're using tubing, or it's some kind of equipment that you're doing, and you need to transfer that energy to something else. This is the connection right where it's leaving the ion, okay, where it's charged. So another word for this is, when you have a charged ion, is anxiety or excitement, high energy. So people who feel anxiety, it's not your energy. It could be energy you're getting from other people, or it's just the high anxiety coming in from the downloads that we're getting, the high energy, which is excitement, because it's higher level vibrational energy. All right, so the cathode is then just a portal to transformation to something else, which is what we're talking about all the time, allowing the complete transformation, the change, the transition into something else. Allow it to transform. So all the definitions are coming from dictionary.com as well as Merriam-Webster, okay? Cation is a state of action or process. It doesn't matter what the action or process is. Cation is just that state of action or process. It actually means starvation, separation. Because when you action or process, it means you're depleting yourself. So you're actually causing starvation or separation. Cation, vacation, okay? So then we get into the other definitions of EC and CA. So EC is eccentric. It's unequal. It's off-center. It's that third energy. It's the masculine energy. It's the thorn in your side. It's the instigator. It's the odd numbers. It's the divine masculine. It's creation. It's an erection. Okay? So, for sake of example, it also means, for sake of example, the EC. Also, engineering corps, established church, so church comes up again, Euro community, or the Euro Union, London Postal Code, which is the East Central, and then Ecuador, equal, door. So I like that, Ecuador. Ecuador came up again today as well. And it means out from or away from. All right, so just like adductor and abductor, you know, going out and in with your legs, it's the same principle, away from. Okay, so the eccentric, or the off-balanced one, or the odd number, is the positively charged ion because it's missing something and it needs to go after something to get it. It's starving. So that's the masculine energy. Masculine starving. And the erection is EC, which is Ecuador, which is equal door. Equal door is that portal from transforming from this to this. There's the same energy there. It's just a different arrangement of energy on this side. So it's saying it's equal. Don't be afraid. Allow the transformation. It just needs to show you a new perspective. So then when you go into CA of creation, and you notice the parallel here, erection and creation. All right, so CA is calcium. And calcium is alkaline as opposed to acidic, right? So you want your body has to err towards alkaline. So it's the good as opposed to the shadow, right? The positive as opposed to the shadow light. So calcium is like that feminine energy. You want to err to the side of the light. You want to err to the side of the feminine. And calcium is alkaline, which is now parallel to the feminine, whereas acidic is the masculine. And that's what causes cancer, too much of that, right? So once it's, you know, it's a catch-22, once the lactic acid starts creating, because then, you know, it's really hard to get under control, and that's why cancer takes over. So CA is calcium, California, chronological age, and the sound, caw, caw, right? Like the crows, right? And it's also abbreviation for cathode, which the two had nothing to do with each other. There were two different searches for me. I didn't know it was an abbreviation for what I just was talking about or looking at. So creation is reuse of energy. It's the feminine. It's the silver white of like calcium, of that alkaline energy, and it's even numbers, the feminine. What else came up here? It also came up sentier, about, it means. So, you know, just like circa, all right, that's CA. Central America, as well as current assets. But it was amazing me that cancer didn't really come up in the definitions, when it's a very widely used definition of cancer, CA. And then what even was more impressive here is that CA is cytosine, a rabinoside, which is DNA, RNA. Okay? So CA is considered DNA. Creation. So the masculine is the portal, and the feminine is the DA, the source energy. Okay? So then I went to write down both, and I wrote down Botion. Okay, because here we are, the T-I-O-N again. So the charged ion and bow. Ah, the bow and arrow. They want to show you all the different parallels to this. Okay? So, of course, the arrow is the masculine, but the bow is the feminine. I was getting, and then you get, cation is just action, just looked at from another perspective, spelled differently, which is the same thing as another perspective. So cation is action. It's a process. State of coming up, erection. State of creation, or creatine. Creatinine is flesh, byproduct of muscle metabolism, produced by the fight-or-flight system, and readily available. Cathode is the electrode leaving the polarized device as opposed to coming into it. Both are lacking the electron. So if it's a cation, it means it's lacking that electron and it's starving. So no, I was also getting, so in explaining all this about the male and the female, both charged in cation are in need of action or sex, but in different ways. And then it was coming up as both are lacking that electron. And you notice that usually if one atom is lacking an electron, it's attracted to one that has one, right? They can't both be lacking an electron. So no two electrons can occupy the same quantum state. Two electrons have very low mass and very high energy, so very like that masculine energy. You know, electrons are the ones running around in a circle, while the neutron is in the middle. You know, the neutron and the protons are more, you know, calm. So the electrons, no two electrons can occupy the same quantum state. And that's why, and thus the dance of the twins. Because it's like you're the same coin. You're not different. You're opposites of the same side. You know, you're two sides of the same coin. So you're different than anything else. Now wait, it gets even more into this. The electron has a charge, and its electric field, and it has, because of that, it has an electric field. If you add an observer, so there's nothingness, there's just an electric field. But as soon as you add an observer or a receiver, it magnetizes and becomes a magnetic field. They radiate and absorb, becoming photons when accelerated. So if they're still, they don't radiate. It's when they accelerate that they radiate and absorb. So you notice it's all in one. You both radiate and you absorb. The masculine both radiates and absorbs. So you're both, but so how does this work then? How do you come together? Sharing electrons is chemical bonding. When an electron collides with a positron, both can be annihilated, producing gamma ray photons. And that stems from radioactive decay of the atomic nuclei. Okay, and the atomic nuclei is what? It is the center, it is the vortex, it is the 0 point. Okay, so when the 0 point decays from lack of use, it produces this craziness where electron collides with positron. Both can be annihilated, producing gamma ray photons unless they learn to dance with each other. When cosmic rays enter the atmosphere, the antiparticle of electron becomes positron. All right, so the cosmic rays, we talk about them every day, and rays is synonymous with radiation. When cosmic rays enter the atmosphere, the antiparticle of electron is positron, identical but carries electric charges of the opposite sign. Sound familiar? Okay, so electron and positron are the masculine and the feminine. The antiparticle of the electron is the positron, identical but carries electric charges of the opposite sign so that they can come together. So then it gets into the alpha, beta, and gamma rays and their differences, because they're all rays or radiation. The alpha is the A with the little, you know, instead of just a tail at the bottom, it has a tail up and bottom. 2 protons and 2 neutrons. What's that right here? There are 2 protons and 2 neutrons bond, the alpha rays, and they're equal to helium with 4 nucleus. The helium is missing 2 electrons.
Okay, I found this on the web for helium is missing 2 electrons. Take a look.
Alright, so that's confirmation for y'all, right? The beta is high energy and very high speed electron or positron emitted by process, and what's process? Cation of beta decay. Okay, so it's always when something decays, it produces this, you know, this excess. Just like rust, that kind of thing. Then you have the beta rays are protecting radiation, okay? So they are greater at ionizing the alpha. They are better at ionizing than the alpha rays, but they're not as good as ionizing as the gamma rays. And they have different properties, so it's not really clear, like it's not just this, and this. It's not black and white. Like one has something good where the other has something else good, but not as good in that respect. So alpha rays are stopped by paper. So they're very easily stopped, like helium, okay? Beta rays are stopped by aluminum plate. However, gamma rays is like being at the hospital. You need lead, steel, or concrete, right, to block gamma rays. However, beta rays can be, when slowed, tend to emit secondary gamma rays as they decelerate into matter. So in water, the beta rays exceed the speed of light. All right, so they're very fast in light. 75% of light in a vacuum, okay, which a vacuum is pure. So 75% of the gamma rays can travel through water. Used for eye and bone cancers, not the gamma rays, the beta rays. Used for eye and bone cancers, and also for tracers that they use in the medical industry, strontium-90. Gamma is used for high altitude balloons and satellite stuff. Also, it's used to change clear topaz to blue topaz for your jewelry. Co-60, CS-137 isotopes used for irradiation and sterilization of medical equipment as well, and removal of bacteria from food. But gamma rays can also cause cancer, but they also treat it through gamma knife surgery and things like that, where they can very selectively, kill cancer. And it's also used in PET scans. So now a little education about rays, okay? So then getting back to the read, a man without erection is in his truth, right? Because if he's charged, he's too excited. He's in that anxiety, which isn't, it's excitement, right? So, the atoms are or electrons are too excited. So if he lets go of that, or just as a parallel, masturbates to release it, he is then, what guys talk about doing, make sure you release yourself before you go out on a date, because then they're in their truth. Because when they're positively charged like that, they're not in their truth. So a man without erection is in his truth, so he must discharge prior to coming together, and that was at 11:44. Playfulness comes up, as well as beneath that was reconciliation. So the masculine has reconciliation and then is playful. Excited by flame and not the other, or the karmic. So the karmic takes a leap away to leave the King of Pentacles chasing girls and dating flame. Freedom to do-si-do, reflect and talk, spend time alone for the masculine, first in the mountains or the shore, in order to charge, walking a fine line on the edge, snake at his feet, or this could be the karmic with a snake at their feet who's taken a leap, okay? While the divine masculine is with the twin flame. But either way, it was coming, the Fool was coming up as both of them. It was coming up as the karmic leaving him, and that's a cool message too that's coming through as well. But also, it's the masculine leaping to his feminine now that he's free. Okay, but they're both walking a fine line, and there's a snake at the feet. So whether the snake is following the masculine, or it's part of someone whispering in the karmic's ear, to cause problems. The snake at the feet of karmics, while the divine masculine is with the twin flame. So then adventure also comes up as underlying energy, which is number 55, is the truth of adventure, the journey. And number 2 beneath that, which is of patience. So you can't get to the adventure without patience, or the high priestess, your connection with higher self. Eye on the Holy Grail, radiating according to the moon cycles. Eye to cup, the Holy Grail. Third eye to cup, the Holy Grail, right? And I'm plugging Sonia now from Ten of Cups Ministries, because when she does her meditation, she always has you bring the pink light or whatever light into the cup, the Holy Grail of the high heart, which is compassion. So filling up with light while So through the third eye, you fill up the cup with light, while busy bees, with the queen bee, with 7.5 cups. I'm not sure why this is coming through, but 7 cups is the 7 of cups. You know, it's can be confusion or too many options, that kind of thing. But I was getting the busy bees and the queen bee with 7.5 cups, spreading rumors, you know, busy bees, of 2 double rainbows, or 3 waves, the waves of twins, red, orange, yellow, green, and blue, purple, and new love, happiness. Okay? So now it's possible that where it can be people who are butting their noses in where it doesn't belong, but now the rumors may be more positive as opposed to the negative ones of lies and all that kind of stuff. So now the rainbows and the waves of twins are coming up and becoming more circulated through gossip. Everyone is in a fix, like clockwork. The lobster is red, his eyes are red, and he's full of red, okay? And the dogs are out of control, unable to get a leg up on, okay? Nothing to resist. There's nothing to put their foot into to resist. There's no brakes, okay? All watery and fluid and need for release. But the release will rust the old machinery and take down the emperor in the deception of this. Unable to ground his universe, at new moon, the boy in the moon is sad and hopeless. Red, white, and blue and touches of gold has caused a major disaster and fiery energy around the world. The patriarchy, dark night of the soul. The Queen of Swords rises into her truthful power and light. Okay? So then, of course, I got flags coming up here, but I was getting not red, white, and blue, but red, white, and blue with gold. Not to say that Trump's not causing issues around the world. Absolutely. But I was guided to look up the flags of red, white, blue, and gold. And so when I looked up initially, the pictures of flags didn't come up, but the one thing that did come up was South American flag, which is not just those colors. But the reason why it came up is because there's a Y on it. Literally, the South African flag is the Y, which is of the masculine, the patriarchy falling, but also of the gamma rays is Y, which can cause an explosion, right? So the South African flag came up. It's not just red, white, and blue and gold. It's also green and black. It's got an isosceles triangle on it, and green and yellow as well. But it was representing for me here the Y in the road and the gamma rays and the patriarchy falling. That flag was established for South Africa in 1994 in the general election. Election? Erection? Cation? Okay, so now we have another cation. So, and this is an LE-cation, which is an electron. So it's very direct. You know, we're talking about electrons already when we're talking cation, and now we have election, which is like supercharged cation, okay? General election. And then, along with the South African flag came up Victorian again, because Victoria and Albert had already come up. So again, Victorian is very important, having to do with the English crown, and the fall of the patriarchy is also the fall of the crown because it was patriarchal, it wasn't feminine. So the gold, red, white, blue countries, and I don't watch news, so I don't know what's going on with that stuff, but I know there's changes going on. But I talked about this too, last year as well, that things were coming up with the fall of the crown. So gold, red, white, blue countries came up as some that I flagged from my knowing were, which was weird. Croatian came up as well as the Soviet Union, of course, because that's always a world power. But also Ecuador came up again. So Ecuador, Venezuela, for other reasons, came up, and I know there's a lot of problems there. But also Poland is just those 4 stripes, really clear. So Poland, Russia, Croatia, and Venezuela. But also in a minor way, the UK was coming up, of course, but Malaysia and Germany. But there may be issues in those other countries. I wasn't getting specifically Malaysia, UK, and Germany, but they were definitely coming up with those colors. There were other countries as well, and a lot of the states have flags of those colors, and Canada as well. Canada, and also it's a flag of the Buddhists, red, white, blue, and gold. But the ones of issue here are Ecuador, Poland, Venezuela, and Soviet Union, and Croatia, which is also Bosnia, okay? So the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords now join forces to rise and school students in playfulness and choice. And choice was a big deal here. It's the Y in the road. And adventure. So teaching kids about all that good stuff as opposed to all the bad stuff. You know, what you can do as opposed to what you can't do, and you have to go sit in the corner. So this is definitely about the masculine and feminines coming together here. Recently is the anxiety card, which now we're realizing anxiety is just that high anxiety energy. It's excitement. It's too much good energy. Just that's where the balance comes. You don't want to be in the really low energy, but the really high energy is too much for you too. Like I always talk about the sun. If you get too much direct sun, you're going to burn. Recently, anxiety is a big issue for the divine feminines in order to rise above, for the divine masculine to step out of. Exposure to gamma rays, that Y, frustration and inability to discharge and dump emotions and attachments, which are all fear. Also kids' anxiety, which should be excitement, inability to find their own passions and their dreams. So if they knew what avenue to use those energies toward, then they'd be able to release them. Dumping everything, paralyzed, kids paralyzed due to confusion, lack of connection. They don't have their inner connection because we don't, you know, it's not mandatory to have meditation in school. I don't really know what's going on right now. I'm sure some schools do have meditation, but I don't think we have, society in general has a really clear understanding of how much we need meditation, or just taking them out in the woods, things like that. Maybe even having class outside, or having more skylights so that the sun comes in more during the day. As I turn the page, it's 1224, which is those endings again of 12 and 24, the Queen of Wands and Wisdom of the Hanged Man. Right? So that's the masculine and the karmic. The foundation here is alchemy. Patience of holding on loosely after wounded from the war. Rising to choose at the Y in the road to what makes you satisfied, what makes you happy when you're alone, on your own. Centrally is the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so it's very much representative of the divine feminine, tired of competing in a man's world that has now fallen. And I'm just getting, it's a man's world, right? So that song is coming up. So the man's world that is now fallen or falling, and being strong, keeping their mouth shut for too long, the feminines. While Aquarius or stars, you know, famous people, are getting all the love offers, the challenge is attention to the flames, like too much attention. It's like getting too much of that high vibrational light. That's the challenge here. The challenge of the attention to the three flames, so the twins and their third flame, trying to stay under the radar, not in such high energy, presently inspired by prison, anxiety, excitement of electrons. And soon we'll be studying law of energy and how it works at all angles, the masculine, of right triangle and hypotenuse. So the masculine is being inspired now towards this. This is coming. So bleeding out of fear, the enemy of choice. So choice is coming up as the enemy here. So bleeding out is fear, right? The enemy of choice, of having to make decisions, with a lot of attention on the journey to success and shining your light, healing and dreaming of love, feeling defenseless in the limelight, especially for the divine masculine, a victim of attention. Stars and Aquarians especially, since the Aquarians just came out of the South Node position, right? So a lot of people tossed them away. Now crowning is brain wars, fear, the enemy. Okay, that's that Five of Swords guy. That's fear, it's the enemy. Taking others down before they can get you. Feeling neediness and feeling like a failure in heartbreak and separation, not working, or inability to focus on work. Inspired to passionately ride in or get moving to make a decision about mission work. The Magician with all the tools, and the Queen of Swords now. So this is the masculine making plans for mission with his divine feminine at the new moon. Death be not proud, death of a pink rose, compassion, bouquet of flowers waiting at the 5D gate for his lady in waiting. Worst is over for the angels. There's a big move on the angels' journey to cross the bridge to the light, so the 4D bridge to get to the 5D. Stone-walled by 4 pentacles, aligning with cement blocking gamma rays at work. So for all those masculines who work around cement where the gamma rays can't get through to them from the sun, and exposure to sun rays to the King of Pentacles and the Empress and the King of Cups. All right? So they've aligned with cement, which is blocking them from all those rays that they need from the sun out in nature, but also from receiving from the divine feminine. All right, there's blocks there, literally. It's coming up, though, to the King of Pentacles, the Empress, and the King of Cups. The King of Cups could be somebody, or could just be representing unconditional love, a block to unconditional love. The angels are judged, or judged the divine masculine sweetly. 2 spoons of sugar helps the medicine go down in aligning with justice, which is just truth and balance. Fantasy exposed in separation, the hermit missing his flame. Where did it go? He used to have it all. So soon, there's rest and quiet for the masculine, reflection. Now expressing, or not expressing, due to the energies coming at him, like all these negative energies and field energies that are coming in, but all these energies attacking him of rejection, shyness, feeling sorry for himself, jealousy and insincerity, now wanting to discover the gold coin that I just talked about and paralleled to fat and love, to source and how it really works. Towering inferno of connection to false light, exposed by announcements his karmic caught wind of about divine marriage, or they have announced their separation. Okay, so the divine marriage is coming up as Empress and Hermit, or 2 hermits in a pod, like 2 peas in a pod. Like it's kind of a sarcasm from the karmics. Like, yeah, the 2 hermits, 2 peas in a pod, right? But it's also going to just be their announcement of their separation, the karmic. If the karmic is the Empress and the masculine, okay, is the Hermit. He is walking away and or going within. So this is how he sees himself. From 1-8 to 8, or 2.75 to 8, to marry and co-create. Come together to find peace and awaken further with new ideas with his divine feminine. Okay, and this is all about the choices we make, the why in the road. So wedding came up here as the underlying, as the cards that came up for the masculine. Wedding, honeymoon, and retreat. Around him, or how he is seen, is the 2 connected. So the 2 of chalices, okay, to offer a new life of joy, truth, and triumph. Shadows are blocks to clear. Okay, this came in what the masculine needs to clear. He just needs to do shadow work on a regular basis, okay? Opening a heart to leap into insecurities, secrets that have come out, and ignorance, not using their intuition, and problems about being still and not working, where actually he receives those epiphanies of intense connection by being present when he's still. Change also came up in rebirth, as I told you in the beginning, but even more so, karmic completion. The Queen of Swords longs for her man as the King of Swords discusses plans at the gate, how to go from the King of Cups to abandoned for inspiration in order to be present to twin. So it's showing us like the connection of the discharge, like, right? So if he's lacking something and he's too charged, he needs to release it in order to come to feminine, which is this charge of the wealth, the abundance. So what happens is here, the King of Swords, so he realizes now in order that he becomes inspired when he goes into lack, So he's seeing how the process is that the King of Swords is going to be dealing with the Queen of Wands, or the karmic, offering her love, but not showing her face, by abandoning him so that he can be with abandoned twin. Because that's the only way of fixing the connection. The only way to come together was for him to lose everything due to being too stubborn to see what that perspective without going through the trauma of this release. The worst is now over. Detox of the Empress in another world, discussing completion details so that he can be with his flame. Unconditional love. So this is the worst is over, okay? The end of the pain. Could be dealing with a little bit of back pain too, as this is all released finally. Unconditional love in being left behind to find himself. So unconditional love is coming up here as equal to being abandoned, to being left behind, or whatever your mother did to you, like when you saying your mom was mean to you, that was their gift to you to trigger you to find yourself. It's all the same. So this is the karmic's gift, whether she acts like it's her gift or not. It's probably not the way it's seen on the outside. But this becomes the karmic's gift to release him so he can be with his flame, because she has to be the heavy, because she has to do to him what he did to the divine feminine in order for him to release and change his direction, see a new perspective. But now the family cycle is complete and over. It was a bad decision to vacillate about divine lover, but now he knows that the worst is over. Rising above drama, patient and balanced, walking away and within to connect with excitement of the Queen of Pentacles, challenged by the attention it brings, needing rest and quiet meditation and reflection in order to do the shadow work on fears of the King of Swords, his own worst enemy, now healed for his lover. Okay? It's a pretty cool read, huh? I'm going to show you the cards too before I get into the oracles, just so I don't forget. Okay, so these are the cards that came out in the shuffle. This is the basic read here. Okay, and then for the complete read here, okay, I think that was it. Alright, so let's get some oracle cards for you guys. We have the Ascension deck here. So take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. That message is amazing. I hope you're appreciating that message, because it's you know, union's here, guys. Clear the line. Alright, so for everyone watching, the best of those concerned, and we're going to John Lennon today because he wanted to be present. Mother Mary and John Lennon, and Evelyn, of course. So this April 3rd, 2019, for everyone watching, and the best and highest good of all those concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? What is the message? Mother Mary, John Lennon, and me. I'm just hearing, all we need is love in the background. Okay. Whoop. There's more. There's a number that needs to come up as well, so let's see what that's going to be. Alright, and that ends on Mary Magdalene, which is cool. On the bottom of the deck is Marco, 47. Okay, so 47 is that 7 of Cups that came up, that 7.5. But also 75% came up, so that's an important number today. Affirmation is I'm open to wisdom from the stars, for Marco. We have 3 sets of cards and then a number to count. So it was Mother Mary, John Lennon, and then me. So we have Gold and Silver Cloak, which is 26, which is from Mother Mary, and that is the Page of Wands. So it's about the little boy inside the masculine. The Gold and Silver Cloak, affirmation is I am in total balance and harmony. You've chosen this card of perfect harmony. When you balance your wisdom and power, giving and receiving, and this message was all about giving and receiving, your connection with Hollow Earth and the seventh heaven, it offers you the courage to love. This makes you magnetic to people, animals, and situations so that you can attract all that is for your highest good. So make sure you discharge your energy. Your guidance is to bring yourself into harmony and balance. That's what it does. Then visualize yourself wearing the gold and silver cloak so that you draw in angel sonics to purify the energy around you. Expect the unexpected and miraculous. The affirmation is, I am in total balance and harmony. Okay, so that was one card. That's the only one I'm going to read. Kuan Yin came up from John Lennon, so you can read that on here if you'd like, which is perfect because that's 43. And 43 is the Three of Cups, which is the coming together. But 43 was coming up yesterday and today as well. But Kuan Yin is the master of the 12th ray, which is all about compassion and unconditional love, and it's actually the more of the magenta pink, that cerise pink light, a feminine energy of love and compassion. And it's re-empowering women everywhere, bringing the feminine wisdom forward in men. Okay? And it'll subtly affect your stellar gateway chakra and build the Antakarana bridge to source, acting from your divine feminine. So this is for everyone, for the masculine and the feminine. And then, so that was from Kuan Yin. They're so funny, all right? John Lennon brought up Kuan Yin, okay? And that was for yoga. You guys are really funny. Thank you for that. So funny. All right, and then I have here Lady Portia, Sirius, and Mother Mary's Aquamarine Mantle, which are 3 more cards, which is the Empress, the feminine, the abundance, Gaia Earth. Okay, so Lady Portia is she's all about justice, which is truth and balance, and she's with Saint Germain, which is all about transmuting with the violet flame. Just using those golden qualities, like letting go of your own projections and perspectives, prejudices, to see the whole picture. Review your life and bring it into the 5th dimension, which is heaven. Be generous-hearted, open-minded, and fair, and step aside from judgment, and then your path will be showered with gold, okay? Since that's 32, 32 is the journey card. It's that 6 of Wands, getting attention, like taking the lead, shining your light, and also having good news coming in, the delivery man. And so someone might be getting good news today in the mail. Sirius is also here at 17, which is the star, shining your light again and healing. Mother Mary's Aquamarine Mantle is 52, which is the Queen of Swords, going into that feminine energy for the masculine and the feminine. So both the King and the Queen of Swords are moving towards the Queen of Swords energy. So it's perfect message here. Mother Mary's mantle of love, higher wisdom, and fair, open-minded, open-hearted, non-judgmental. So just being love. From Sirius, Mother Maria. I just met a girl named Maria. An aquamarine on the mantle. They're telling me to look at what's aquamarine on the mantle. My mother's Mary, but I don't know if there's a picture. I don't think I have a picture of my mother. That's what she's saying. Where's the picture of your mother on the mantle? Because like all my kids and stuff and all their little things they made. That's what she's saying. So when I said I don't have a picture of my mother on there, she's saying be serious, because the serious card's here. Be serious. You don't have a picture of your mother there? What's wrong with you? And then Lady Portia is, of course, as transmutation. And she is a lady. The lady just means she's of love. She is sweet and gentle and kind, but does not let someone walk all over her either. So we have 1, 1, and 3. 3 of Gaia, the earth, the feminine energy. And so it's the Page of Wands and the 3 of Cups, so coming together. So the masculine getting excited to come together with the feminine, needing to deal with his home base seriously. of Mother Mary and his mother and all the other people who are going to want to put, Lady Portia's coming up as the gossips, the ladies, the busy bees. All right, and then we have the group I got to count, which is Mary Magdalene here, and she's 35, the wounded warrior. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So perfect, all right? Because again, we have 3 and 19. The earth and the sun, the feminine and the masculine, okay? And then Mary Magdalene's at the bottom there, 35, being the wounded warrior, that she was connected to her masculine, Christ on the cross. They no longer want to be seen as on the cross, okay? Because that is out of sacrifice as opposed to joy. And that's not their message at all. And Mother Mary agrees. It's totally inappropriate use of trees. They're so funny. All right, so we have 19 here. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. All right, so here we get, again, it goes to completion of the karmic cycle. 24, because that's the Queen of Wands. And we have karmic completion on the table here as well. All right, so you can't get much better than that. Thank you, John. Thank you, Mother Mary. And we have the past life deck here now. Okay, take another deep breath, guys. Clear and align. Clear and align. Fill the empty spaces with only beautiful, organic love and light, diamond light, which is rainbow light, because it's reflective and refractive. All right, let's see here. It is April 3rd. That's where the 43 came from. It's April 3rd, April 3. Coming together, April 3rd, 2019, which is the 12, which is also a 3, but that's not what I'm trying to get at. See, the wisdom of the coming together and the mother who approves. He has his mother's approval. The April 3rd, 2019, for everyone watching, the best of those concerned, the best and highest for those concerned. Good. The best and highest good of those concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? And we're asking Mother Mary, John Lennon, and Evelyn, what are our messages here? Oops. I guess that one wants to come out. Mother Mary nearly made me bend that card. I have no idea what card it is, but we'll see in a second. Right, this is from John Lennon, please. John, what is it you want to say? All you need is love. I keep getting it in the background. Na, 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 na. All you need is love. Oh, he gave us 5 cards. And then me. That's expansion from John. And what's the last message? What's my message? All right, 4 cards, and then we have the bottom of the deck. Wait a minute, there's a few more cards that wants to come out for counting purposes. All right. And then the bottom of the deck again is phobias. Again, fear. Was that not the message today? To let go of anxiety. It's just fear. It is excitement. It's the energy coming in. It's just at too high a level that you can take, so it makes you uncomfortable. So it's just about discharging that energy. All right, which you can do through your creativity and your love. All right, so that's the underlying energy, is just phobias. All right, Mother Mary, wars and battles. All right, and this is definitely Confederate and Union. Okay, the Civil War. And how many soldiers does it take to put together a tripod? Mother Mary's getting her 2 cents in here too as well. Did you hear that? 2 cents? The 2 gold coins? Her little boy and her little girl. The pink and the green. Her 2 cents. It's making me cry. It's beautiful. And she's saying, it's making me want to cry. And she's saying, and you notice what color is missing from that red, white, and blue. The gold coins. The children in those men who never learned how to put a tripod together and take pictures of their women. Too busy playing with guns and roses. You like that? Because even roses have thorns, which are a weapon of choice. You know, War of the Roses? Okay, so that's from Mother Mary. It's all about the war. And don't forget the children and the horses as well. The horses left on the battlefield, not quite dead, but not cared for either. And she's bringing up the civil wars because it has to do with within your own home, your own country. How, you know, think about that. We're not fighting other countries even. It's about fighting in your own home, your own country. What for? Alright, so then we have John Lennon. John Lennon, we have these. We have baby. We have Egypt. He misses having a baby. Galactic. Spirituality and religion. And Native American reversed. Alright, so that's his, you know, his cause for you guys about Native Americans. And he's saying, I don't need to say anything more. And it's making me want to cry. This is John's message to you. About the Native Americans. What are you doing to your own? And they're all slightly different colors as well coming through here. In saying this, look what you're doing to your own as far as the Native Americans. Does your Bible tell you so? Open a book, any page, and tell me what it says. Open your hands and open your chakras and look at your ring and your ring finger. Is that what it tells you to do? And you notice in that spirituality and religion card, the ring is on this hand because it's the marriage to yourself. Is that what is the right thing? Are you doing the right thing? What do you tell yourself? It doesn't matter what's okay with society. What is your soul telling you is the right thing to do? And then we have galactic after that. It's saying when you go through books, it's the old. There's very little light there. It's saying look up to the heavens and the stars and the constellations. There's so much information there for you to learn. And the kites, the electricity, Ben Franklin and all that. The clock towers, and the time that's over. And the hands struck midnight for Cinderella. But why? Why the fear? Why the pyramids, where one's bigger than the other? Were me and Yoko the same when we showed ourselves in bed on TV for you to show you that we're not, one is bigger than the other, we're all the same. And he misses the baby. And not to treat your baby as something different than you are. You are all equal. You have things to teach each other. It's not just you in control over them. They have so much to give you because they're still so innocent and pure. They're bringing you messages from beyond that you need to listen to. You're missing the whole point. The timelines of Egypt are done. It's time to start nesting and be pure of intention. Let yourselves all be one. Even those outside your immediate connection. Just because the night sky is dark, do not fear that. Look at the beauty it brings you with all the stars and the lights, the fireworks, and the storm clouds, and when the lightning strikes. One, I'm saying. They're not saying when the lightning strikes 12, they're saying when the lightning strikes 1. Oneness. It's after midnight. Cinderella has turned back into a plain old girl, and the carriage is no longer this beautiful coach. It's just a pumpkin. But that's fine with him. You can cut faces together and cook pumpkin pie, and then put the stem in your shake in the morning. Okay, for your fruit and vegetable shake, for its health qualities. Everything you need to know is everywhere around you. It's in the books, it's in the light, it's in the sky, and your connections there. It's in the Native Americans and the earth, and your lineage, and your babies, and your children. Everything you need, all the tools are there. This is the message from John Lennon, who says he's square, not round. And then I'm getting, from me, are these 4 cards, which are spouse reversed, male, female, high priest or priestess reversed, and then medicine man or woman, which came out first, actually. I know this is going to be a personal message, but it's about the shaman, your masculine. He's saying, you no longer need to be the high priest or priestess. You are no longer the witch of the past. I am ready to align our energies. I've ended my marriage, karmic completion. So that's a specific message for those of you whose masculines are married. They're leaving their marriages, and he will be shaman. If you want to, you can, and if you don't have to. You will align your energies anyway. And you don't need the old-fashioned marriage anyway. Us aligning our energies is all the marriage we need. And you notice the phone won't stop ringing. That's your masculine calling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He won't stop until you answer. 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, so the number of the cards is 12. So again, it's completion. The hangman has become wise. And the bottom of this stack is farm reversed, because he was that dead horse hung out to dry. And it took that for him to realize that his shit stinks. That's the message from that. No more Neanderthal, because the Celtic card is reversed behind that, and the figure on that cross definitely looks like a Neanderthal man. So that's done. No more Old MacDonald on the farm or Neanderthal man. He is a changed man. And he's just, the masculines are saying, and they want him, it's like an ode to the horses that were left on the battlefields. Is there anything else for me? It's just saying also with the high priest or priestess card reversed, you don't have to work so hard at coming, about connecting anymore. It's going to come more naturally to you. Especially with your shaman. So once you're connected in energies, it'll be a lot easier. You don't have to like constantly meditate or anything like that, okay? It's saying, here is Scamos. As soon as you connect now, you are in divine marriage. It's a really beautiful message coming through. Really nice. Thank you, John. Thank you, Mother Mary. John made me cry. All right, we have one more. Okay, this is for Journey of Love. Everyone take a deep breath. This is from Mother Mary and John Lennon. You're going to leave me out here because I'm not going to read a whole bunch of cards, but Mother Mary and John Lennon, please. Thank you so much for your messages. And this is again April 3rd, 2019. April 3rd, 2019. For everyone watching, in the best and highest good of all is concerned. Earth Angel wanted to come up here a little bit. 54. And that is the Page of Swords. There's a message coming. We already got the mail's coming. There's a message coming for you. The phone was ringing. Trying to get through. Doesn't know how else to make it clearer to you. Journey of Love. For everyone watching, the best and highest good of all is concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? For Mother Mary and John Lennon, please. Mother Mary and John Lennon. What is our advice? What do we need to know? All you need is love. Doo, 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 doo. All you need is love. Love, love, love. Love is all you need. Come in here. That's it. Okay. The bottom of the deck. The bottom of the deck. The bottom of the deck is Ethereal Touch is 27. So that was a message for you. 27 is the Ace of Wands, right? And it's very feathery. You see there a light touch. The Ethereal Touch. And Guardian of the Soul family is underneath that. Says 26 and 27. The Page of Wands is coming because he's got an Ace of Wands. Alright, you have Heart Fires, the first one from Mother Mary. And that's the one we're going to read. We have 3 from John. The Void. Acceptance of the Void is 40, which is the Page of Cups. Excuse me, the Acceptance is 55, which is the Ace of Swords, the Truth. Page of Cups, the Truth, and Distant Shores, which is 18, which is the Moon. Okay, so that's talking about going away. Okay, with the Moon. Okay, That could be sending the false light away too. The mouse one's being funny. Okay. Acceptance. Beautiful. That's like that avatar forest, and then the void of the Page of Cups. They're very the two outer cards are very much of the purples and blues and greens, but what the Distant Shores is just purple and green. That's that emerald and violet type combination. That's stormy seas, stormy weather. At night, 4 moons, 4 full moons, in order to go away, distant shores, or that may be how long it's going to be until the karmic can leave the situation or leave the home. And him learning to accept the nothingness. But it's definitely also about some of you will be taking a trip to distant shores, accepting the enchanted forest and the void, the emptiness of being still, the masculine, the womb. His lady. Like literally, it's like the other side of the bridge into 5D. It's like he's you know, bowing down to his lady and waiting in the enchanted forest that they will live in from now on. He's saying you're so lucky to experience this. I wish I were there. It's just saying, don't be surprised at the miracles that happen now. Accept what comes to you. The void and the distant shores. Accept it all as the blessing. As they pass on the baton. Really beautiful. Okay, let's see how many there are here before I get way too long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. By the way, I told you the numbers for those 3. We have 1, 2, there's definitely 6 here. So 6, 3, and 1, which is 10, which is to stay at that high vibration. It's also the Wheel of Fortune. It means good luck is coming your way. Your destiny awaits. And we have here self-initiation, which is 12. I'm not going to show you them all because it's getting too long. Rings of Time is 44. So rings, there will be a what's it called? Maybe a ring ceremony. 3 to 1, which keeps coming up for me in the cards this week. 3 to 1, I keep seeing that, which is number 10, is that high vibration again. 46 is the 6 of Cups, the kids in the garden, all excited. And 34 is the arrows of love, the passion, the becoming. That great work of art that you can erase and start over if you want to. And then the Swan, which is the 67 that was coming up yesterday and today, which is the Knight of Pentacles. He's on his way to help to offer something and to propose. And it's just, the Swan is just black and white. I'll show you that one. Okay. The Swan. Yeah, there's a lot of excitement going on. 67, 34, I told you all cards, yep, and then it's 6, yeah, so 10, 10, and 10. 10, 10. I have to read you Heartfire, okay. Heartfire is 1, it's the Magician. The start of the new journey. Heartfire. Passion is igniting within you. It is not time when things will remain still, even if the change is only sensed as a subtle stirring underneath the surface of things. Even if slow at first, passion will unfold from within your heart, soon to be burning bright like a sun, unrestrained. You are learning how to ride the waves of passion, through eruptions of heat and descent into coolness, bearing the absence of fire, only to realize it is returning to you again. Ride its waves, knowing that passionate bliss will always return to a heart that is on fire with love for life. The coolness allows us to experience the heat. Once you realize that the fire emerging from within you will ebb and flow, you will trust in its presence and your abilities. You will realize that whether your passionate fire is obvious, drawing you into life, or dwelling quietly within, gaining power from the deepest sources of your being, soon to rise once more, it is a constant in your heart. Accept the fire of your heart and know that this is how you are meant to be, on fire with love for all that is. This oracle brings you a message, or a message for you. Trust the passion and the fire of your heart to guide your decisions now. What would make you feel most alive? Choose that. If you're feeling a lack of genuine passion in your life, take comfort that it is awakening in your own heart now, bringing something that has been long in rest back to life. And the poem reads, life unfolds in wondrous ways, and time together fills the days with unexpected gifts beyond our wildest dreams. Like open hearts as feelings start to face the longing when we part, our souls know this is more than what it seems. In gratitude I offer prayer, and thanks for this love so rare, asking guidance on this sweet sojourn. The answers come in tears that flow, emotions raw, and smiles that show. Becoming one is worth the wait, until I can return. Okay, so beautiful. Okay. All right, guys, rise and be loved.